everybody, welcome to Happy Healthy You Special Edition. I'm here with Linda Pencala. She's a massage therapist, she's a wellness educator, and she's an author, she's a writer. And we just recorded an awesome podcast about essential oils. She's an expert in essential oils. Truly, she's an expert. And so today she's here just to show us how to apply this awesome, I knocked it over, lavender essential oil. So thank you, Linda, for coming on the podcast and now the video.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So essential oils, we talked at length on the podcast. So listen to the podcast, and there's a link on this video so you can listen to the podcast. But we want to talk specifically about applying this lavender. So you want to just kind of go through it?
Sure.
We talked about different ways of using the oils, but you're going to teach us how to use this lavender. So
right. So some of the things you don't want to ever do is to touch the top of an essential oil orifice, it's called, because then you'll contaminate it with germs and bacteria and things. So you just kind of drop it on. You don't ever go like this and kind of flip it over. And so you could just put a drop in your hands. And what we talked about earlier was just kind of charging it 3 times clockwise. And then what we talked about is just cupping it. And just breathing it in through the nose.
it's really nice.
It's really beautiful.
And we talked about in the podcast, you will listen, I'm sure. If you breathe it in through the nose, it goes directly to the limbic part of the brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
So the olfactory bulb right here is directly linked to the limbic portion of the brain, the amygdala, particularly. That's about as big as a walnut, and they found that in the 1990s. They did a lot of brain research, and they found that that particular small part of the limbic portion of the brain holds all of our past emotional traumas. And here's a great story that when I first started with smelling these oils, I smelled the oil of purification. I just went like that. And a memory of my Grandma Ree, my Filipino grandmother, came to me just like that, just from smelling that. And it was because the lemongrass and the citronella in there reminded me of my grandmother. Not that I was thinking of her, but it went right into my brain. And it remembered my Grandma Ree because she used to cook on a gas stove half of eaten grapefruit. And so that grapefruit would put into the air the citronella. And so that's how I really figured out, wow, these really work on a very profound level, in that whether you're thinking about it or not, it really is getting into your brain and into, past traumas or elevating your moods and spirits and helping you feel a lot
just an immediate
soothing.
connection.
Immediate connection.
Okay.
So with lavender, as a massage therapist, I use this a lot. But what we could do is kind of quiet down a muscle that's energized a lot. So say a lot of people do computers, and they do a lot with their mouse on this right hand,
Totally, yeah.
right arm.
So many wrist issues.
Lots of wrist issues. So what we're going to do today is show you what you could do with just 1 drop of lavender on the brachioradialis. This is the main forearm muscle that works hard. You can see it working right there when you're typing, flexing your wrist. It's working real hard. It kind of goes a little diagonal. So we just put a drop or 2 and we just feather it in. You can see you just feather it in. The reason why I use my nails and not my fingertips is because I would absorb it into my fingertips. And when I'm feathering it into clients, into their shoulder muscles, their neck, or their spinal cord, I certainly don't want to get it. I want my client to get it. So you can see how those 2 drops just work on in. You can see how they work in. Then what I would always suggest to do, you always should put the top back on, is you can do some cross fiber across this muscle, because you know, Connie, how tight this can get.
Sure, yeah.
And that's if you don't play tennis and don't golf and don't bowl and all those other things, but we all use our forearms a lot. We do. And so with lavender, you can kind of work it and do cross fiber like this. Come on down. You could see how it hurts, and you'll feel it. Another way, you could just use your fingers as tools and just do a nice relaxing circular motion to get the circulation going. So there can be no healing anywhere in the body, whether you've had surgery or just muscle tension, without increased circulation. That's number one. And so what the oils do is they increase the oxygen content immediately, and it helps the blood flow into this area and help quiet down and relax this muscle. And that's the main focus of lavender. It's also great should you have sunburn. So a great remedy for that is lavender and peppermint, because lavender is great for burns, which is third degree burns if you burn yourself in the sun. And then the peppermint's cooling, so it's relaxing. So
Awesome.
I use that on my husband.
Well, tell me, how do you feel after that? How does that feel?
Oh, very relaxing. Well, just smelling it, we smelled it. So that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other day, my 3-year-old grandson, Joshua, smelled the yang yang, a very beautiful citrus smell, and immediately, this is what he did. He was like this. His eyes opened up, and he's only 3, but he knows. He can't fake
Instant
that.
happy.
It's instant happy.
On a visceral level.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Linda, for
Sure.
coming on the podcast, coming on the video to teach us more. You are the wellness educator. For more information, you can go to Linda's website, which is
CorporatePitstop.com.
corporatepitstop.com. And to listen to the podcast, of course, you can listen at ConnieBowman.com. You can like our Facebook page, Happy Healthy You. You can listen on iTunes and, of course, Stitcher. So until next time, have a happy, healthy day. Thanks. Smell the lavender. Oh, I love it when massage therapists come. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Connie, for reaching out and being the light for the world so people can be healthier. And
Aww.
offering hope and health and healing for so many of your wonderful listeners who are on the journey. I thank you,
too.
Connie, for
Can we,
all that
I'm
you
just
do.
going to keep talking so you keep your... No.
I just thank you for all that you do
Aw.
for all that listen to you, and the books that you write, and the yoga that you do, and the Reiki you do to help people find balance and health. So I thank you for your gift
Thank
of
you.
encouragement and empowerment.
She's amazing.